Everyone has heard that we create our own reality, but patterns show up in our lives that we can't seem to control in the world around us, or even in ourselves.
CognoConscious is something that we developed several years ago. We realized that we had a tool, Cogno Movement, which could basically take away all of those negative feelings and thoughts that a person had. But CognoConscious enabled us to go up the scale of emotions, the ladder, right? And slowly going through clearing a lifetime of that.
Achieve your dreams faster than ever by clearing your blocks in a brand new way. In the search for true reality shifting, Bill and Liz discovered that lasting change doesn't come from changing your mind.
This was created years ago to see if we could actually clear in a chunk things like shame out of the body. If we could actually clear as a whole anger, patterns of anger from the body. So we don't have to go through and get each incident in your life. We literally gather them through sensation and delete them as an entirety. So the feeling in the body, what happens physically, is enormous. And each one of these steps, you actually get that energy back. So the energy that was going to run shame is now flooded back through your body for creativity and focus and great mood. And we are doing this hour after hour after hour for 4 days. So it turned out to be an incredible life-changing experience for everybody who's tried it since.
CognoConscious is the first event of its kind. It does away with old ideas about the mind. Tricking yourself into gratitude, convincing your brain that you are happy, and practicing mindful daily rituals is old news. Imagine starting your day with more energy, more focus, and more motivation without having to meditate, journal, or repeating a positive affirmation over and over again. The best part is, if meditation, journaling, and affirmations are something you love, after CognoConscious, these practices come with ease and joy, instead of the expectation and stress of changing your state.
CognoConscious to me means that you are actually discovering the parts of yourself that were hidden away. I think that's what it's done for me. The parts of me that I didn't know were there, CognoConscious helps release that, helps me accept it. It brings me back to me.
CognoConscious is a life-changing event in a miraculously short period of time. That's what CognoConscious is to me.
CognoConscious brings you to your fullest potential. You don't leave this event with a plan. You leave having already changed your reality.
So CognoConscious is not the kind of event where you come and you're on a high because you're around everybody. I mean, it is like that. But it's not the kind of event where after 3 days, you sort of start to lose your seminar high. CognoConscious is the kind of event where during the sessions, you are changed physically. Who you are as a human is elevated hour after hour after hour. So when you get home, your life looks different, but it just takes off from there. I think this is the thing that people say the most is, I'm just changed, I'm just different. And those changes are in your body, they're in your nervous system, they're in how you function from that moment on.
When I look back at my life before CognoConscious, I was doing Cogno Movement and making significant strides. But when I came to CognoConscious, I was definitely down in the fear, anger level of the Hawkins scale. Like that's kind of was my norm. And I know that after CognoConscious, neutrality became a reality for me. I would say that's where I gained the most, like the baseline of that. But I also had an experience there of unconditional love. But it was real and I felt it. And to have that glimpse of that was, I mean, you never forget something like that. And then going out and everyone on the beach and everywhere, you're just so in love, really, and just joyful. And so it's kind of the culmination of the top of all of them all in one, but it was really significant.
It's like an archaeological dig where you are excavating the parts of you that you forgot. You're seeing them again. Sometimes it feels like for the very first time on such a deep and profound level. It's amazing. It has brought me more to my authentic self. Not that I'm not authentic, but there's more ease in that for me around everybody, as opposed to guarding and sheltering myself. I feel like no matter who I'm with, I can be more of myself. So CognoConscious allows me to do that in a way that I haven't found yet. When you can do that, the person or whoever you're interacting with has the same ability. It's like a release. You're allowing yourself, and whoever you're interacting, you're giving them that same space and that same grace.
Anything and everything. You're going to be raising your energy. The things that are bringing you down and weighing on you that you may not even be aware of are just going to be shed through the natural course. The outcome that I got from my first CognoConscious was I got to cancel my neurosurgery on my back, and I forever permanently changed my pain state.
Your new life begins the minute you clear out that first emotion on the Hawkins scale. Are you willing to let go of the third dimension rules in order to live a fifth dimension life?
We get to actually reach out and touch enlightenment, joy, bliss. Forgiveness becomes not the F word that it is for most people, but this miraculous change physically. So everything happens during a CognoConscious event.
Imagine if you simply didn't feel the way you felt all your life, that those shame or humiliation or anger or guilt, it was simply gone. What would life be like?
CognoConscious is the biggest event of the year. Your dream life is achievable in this lifetime during this event.
Whatever your level of consciousness is really simply the understanding that you've come to thus far in your life. When we go through the process of this CognoConscious seminar, people have a jump in their understanding. They go from, I'm really afraid and I have a lot of anxiety to, they feel great and optimistic about their life and things change. What happens is you end up at a whole new understanding once that particular emotion that you've been experiencing all of your life is gone.
Become a high-level, high-functioning, high-dimension being. Using CognoConscious, the Hawkins scale, CognoQuantum, and the map of awareness, be shown what it's like to live in the fifth dimension. Get ready for vivid dreams, reality shifts, quantum jumps, and manifestation abilities beyond your wildest dreams.
Synchronicities, coincidences, being able to choose how you want to approach a situation, no longer being kind of at the mercy of life events. All kinds of amazing transformations in relationships, finances, health, manifesting, amazing positive growth. And really, it touches every aspect of life.
So a CognoConscious event is completely different than other consciousness events because we're getting in and we're actually clearing the roadblocks out of the way, all the way up the Hawkins scale, all the way up the map of awareness. So most events, you're imagining things, or you're moving things around in your mind, or maybe even moving energy. We are literally deleting patterns of shame, fear, grief, anger, pride, and all the way up the ladder out of the body, like deleting a computer program. So once these things are changed physically along your power lines in your nervous system, you're a different human being. So people leave CognoConscious changed physically. You can actually see it physically on them. But more than that, you leave feeling like the world looks brand new. It looks like a completely different place. And who you are is more who you came to be on the planet. People are more authentic. I know after a CognoConscious event, even as the trainer, I'm more of who I came to be. So I think that's the biggest thing, is that you really become different, and it's something bigger and something greater than you could imagine.
This may be the most difficult yet rewarding event you've ever attended. It is only for those who are ready to make significant changes to their lives, relationships, careers, mental health, and physical well-being.
It's just wonderful. I felt at home right away. I felt, oh my goodness, this is my group. We all get it. We can talk about whatever. And then the work starts. And when the work starts, it is work. What you feel like during the event is lots of release, and you have this camaraderie with everyone there because they're doing the same thing. And everyone's processing their own stuff in a different way, but the same way, if that makes sense. So you might have somebody crying, and you might have somebody like mad, and you might have somebody laughing. You know, it's just all a different thing, but you're kind of going through a rite of passage together because you're working through this. And then afterwards, it's so amazing. Like that's all you talk about for dinner that night. That's all, each day you're just talking about it.
When you're ready, it's there. CognoConscious is available, and it gives you the tools that help you discover the piece of yourself that you're ready to discover again at that moment of time. I say take lots of notes. Take lots of notes. Take notes on what you want to work on. Take notes on what happens in the middle of all the sessions. Take lots of notes, because there's going to be so much change. It would be nice to look back on it and see how far you've grown, because I think that's what this does. It helps us to grow in a way that is beautiful and magical, and all that other stuff that happens with this goodness that we do when we become more of ourselves, when we come back to center, back to who we really are.
We're moving from all the way down in shame, all the way through enlightenment, and experiencing every step along the way. So not only is it an event that's a number of days, but it actually is big in your life. You leave a completely different person, Bill and I included. The gamut is so huge. We have people who realize their lives are not at all what they thought they were. We have people who realize that people in their lives were not who they thought they were. We have people who change their perspective on literally everything.
It's just a really well-formed, well-outcomed, well-meaning, wonderful event.
It's a lot, but it is the most incredible thing that you or we will ever experience in our lives.
The CognoConscious event happens just once a year.
So in the days and weeks and months after, these changes continue to deepen and grow. So we hear things over time of what have happened. But some of them are that one of the most common, people are walking through the airport, leaving, going back home, and they feel the desire to literally bless everyone. May you have the life that you always dreamed of. We get phone calls. Is it normal that I'm wanting to bless everyone, even the drug dog that I just saw? Yeah, it is. The world actually appears as though it's a different place. Manifesting just goes crazy, off the hook. The minute you think of something, it's showing up left and right. People go home to their families, actually appearing and functioning differently. How does that happen? You change yourself and they change. We see it all the time.
Coming home, you're for like 3 months for me, just wow. I can't believe, like that used to be how I was and this sort of thing, and just noticing things. And then as time goes on, that foundation never leaves. You have it. What are the biggest things in your life you'd like to clear?
I recommend it to anybody who's been struggling with patterns, who feels like they're beating themselves up a lot, who just feel like life is an uphill battle. CognoConscious is for you. It's going to even the playing field, and suddenly it's going to be much easier to navigate life on the other side of CognoConscious. And it's only a few days of your life to make these changes.
Really what I can say happens after a CognoConscious session is your entire world expands. And so do you. But mostly, you start becoming who you've always come to be. Who you came to be on this planet, that's who you leave CognoConscious with.